Hey guys, we're gonna do Spider Monkey, aka it's Germain here, and this is going to be my second deck profile of the day. It's my Spirit Monster deck, uh, lightly inspired by Noah Kaiba's appearance in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, but I wanted to include my own little flair on it, I guess. Um, my own spin, if you will. Um, so let's start out here. First is kind of the big boss of this deck, sort of, but even she pales in comparison to the deck's real boss monster, but still, it's Matarasu. Uh, she can't be normal or special summoned. Uh, she can really only be set, but when she's flipped up, she banishes all monsters on the field. Uh, Actually, no. She actually banishes all other cards on the field besides herself. So, so you can, like, swing into your opponent for a direct attack for 3,000 damage, basically. Which is nice. They have no way to block it unless they have something in their hand, I guess, or something, like, in their graveyard. Yeah, she's, like, really cool. Very pretty. Uh, she's a level 9, so she's not really that easy to get out, but she can be gotten out easier with cards like Shallow Grave if you can put her in your graveyard first. So yeah. And this card does have ways to recycle magic cards, so yeah. She's definitely a viable target with cards like Shallow Grave and spoilers, I guess, for later in the deck. Next is Spirit Invitation. Costs 500 life points every turn to keep it out, but this way you can return one of your opponent's monsters to their hand when you return a spirit monster to your hand, so uh, it's a pretty good effect. One thing I do have to mention is this deck uh, definitely isn't infallible. I definitely have a difficult time keeping monsters on the board with it. Uh, Next is Nikitama. It can't be special summoned, much like most spirit monsters. And its unique effect is when it's normal summoned or flip summoned, you can summon one additional monster. And when this goes into the graveyard, you can draw one extra card. But there needs to be another spirit monster on the field to use this effect, so I don't know. It can have its uses. Next is Artima. Another 800 attack and 800 defense. Cannot be special summoned. When he's a normal flip summon, though, you can add a spirit monster besides another copy of him from your deck to your hand. Hebo, Lord of the River, has 1800 attack points. He can treat another monster on the field as a spirit monster. And basically, what that means for that monster is they'll be returned to the hand at the end phase of the turn, along with Hebo. So you can clear the field if you can summon him on your opponent's turn, say. You can clear the field for a direct attack. Spiritual Energy Subtle Machine, discard card. You can prevent basically one spirit monster from a return to your hand. Magician of Faith to get back a magic card. Izanagi at 6 stars. He's actually a bit harder to summon, but you could special summon him from your hand by removing from play a spirit monster from your hand. And when he's out, he negates the spirit monster's effects that return them to your hand. So he's a pretty good card to have out, I would say. Really nice shiny artwork there. Nice little rainbow effect going on there. Yeah, I like him. He's a wind monster, so he's cool in my book. Monster Reincarnation, nothing really much to say here. I just like Monster Reincarnation. Next is Feng Huang. I hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. He's a 6-star as well, 2100 attack, 1800 defense. He also cannot be special summoned, and during the end phase of the turn that he's normal summoned or from face up, he's returned to the hand, like all spirit monsters. And when he's normal up face up, though, you can destroy all set spell or trap cards your opponent controls, so he's basically a Harpy's Feather Duster, which is always nice. Sarah Priest, she can attack all monsters your opponent. She can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Very nice. If you can also boost her attack power, that she's even more deadly. On the downside, if you use her, you can't attack directly with anything, so be mindful of that, I guess. Great Longnose, 5-star, 19 attack. Not super great, but if he can inflict battle damage, your opponent has to skip their next battle phase, so pretty good. Pre-preparation of rights. Adds a ritual spell card from your deck to your hand, and a ritual monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So this card is very useful in summoning Shanato, King of Fireplane. I actually didn't realize at first how useful this card was. But yeah, it's really powerful. Bird Power Spot. All spirit monsters gain 500 attack and defense. And this card is also helpful to search out Shanato. And also other spirit monsters. So it's just a very nice card. Got one copy of Monster Aboard. Just always a nice card to have. Cestus of Dogla. I put this card in the deck to kind of, in a way, I put there to power up monsters, but also sort of to mimic Shanato, King of Heartblade's Deckmaster ability, which allowed the user to gain life points every time a monster was destroyed, equal to the amount of life points the opponent lost from that battle. So yeah, this is some Dogla. It basically does the exact same thing. So yeah. Yeah, the strategy of Cestus of Dogla being a separate card from Shinato, it's not guaranteed I'll see it that often, but next is one copy of Yatagarasu. If he can attack everyone directly, they have to skip their next draw phase. Very powerful card. If I understand this right, he was actually banned for a few years, but now he's back, so I'm happy. Next is fulfillment of the contract. Basically, works in a similar way to refusion, just for ritual monsters, or like premature burial, I suppose. Very nice card to have. Maharagi, you can see the next card in your deck when he's summoned, but also during your next draw phase before you draw, you have to return the card to the top or bottom of your deck. So, I don't know, you can kind of choose whether to keep it or not, I suppose. So yeah, he's actually pretty useful. Like if you like see a card that you don't want to draw or won't be advantageous, you can just put it at the bottom of your deck. it's not foolproof, I guess. You could draw something worse after that. One of my favorite spirit monsters, actually, Sousa Soldier with a nice 2000 attack, 1600 defense, and he's only level 4. He's also a thunder monster, which is pretty cool. His effect is basically any battle damage this card inflicts to your opponent's life points is halved, but he can still, like, kill monsters easily, like Vorus Raider, Lajin, and anything else that might be trouble. So, if the battle damage is half, who cares really, I guess. um, Rasetsu, 1900 defense and 1500 attack points. You can basically his effect, I believe, is you can reveal one spear monster from your hand, except Rasetsu, then target one face of attack position monster your opponent controls, and return that target to the hand. So what I understand is a lot of these newer spirit monsters, they work by like putting the opponent's monsters back into their hand. So yeah, nice little effect. He has 1900 defense, which is pretty neat. Got one copy of Earthshaker. It's not super useful. Say if your opponent only has like one type of monster, it's kind of useless. But yeah, if you can work around that. Invoke a spell to give back a spell card. Oh yeah, sorry if I flip flop on magic card versus spell card. I I don't know. I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual monsters, and yeah. Next is the Shellgrave. Noah uses this a lot in like Yu-Gi-Oh! Never Troubadour, especially to like resummon Shinata, which is a pain. But yeah, it's a really powerful card. Next is another card that helps with whole life point gaining engine this deck has going on. Soul Wishes, every time you draw a card, gain back 500 points. It's not 500 per card, though, which kind of stinks. Orb of Yasuka. It's an equip card for spirits, and when they defeat a monster by battle, you gain life points equal to that destroyed monster's attack points. So it's pretty nice. And when this card, and when the equipped monster is returned back to your hand, this card basically, it goes to the graveyard, but then it's also returned to your hand. It's kind of like it was never in the graveyard to begin with. One copy of Shinato's Arc. I could have just left this deck as just spirit monsters in general, but I don't know. I kind of like Shinato, I guess. I like Noah's deck. um, Amano Iwato. This card doesn't really have a unique effect, but he has 1900 attack points, which is pretty nice. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, he doesn't have yeah. He does have an effect actually. Monsters can't activate their special abilities except spirit monsters. So pretty nice, I guess. You could stop Jinzo, I guess. Yamato no Kami. Um, when he destroys an opponent monster, when he destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can destroy one spell trap card your opponent controls. He is a 6-star monster, but he has 22 attack points, so yeah, it's reasonable. um, got one Izanami. Fun fact, when I bought this card, I also accidentally bought a copy in another language. I want to say it was either German or Italian. um, her special ability is when this card is summoned, you can discard one card from your hand to add one spirit monster from your graveyard to your hand. So, a pretty nice ability. One's Burden for a Birth, one's Civic's Blessing. Uh, one Tsukuyomi. Uh, her special ability is basically when she's summoned, You can select one monster on the field and flip into face down defense position, which actually can help out if you have a spirit monster that you don't want to return to your hand. You can just save it for like a turn, flip it back face down. Aroma jar. When this goes left face up, it cannot be destroyed by battle while it is face up on the field. And when this goes face up during each player's end phase, you gain 500 life points. So just another really nice, indestructible life point gain healing card. um, Next is one of the Oyster monsters, I believe, that has to be special summoned. I'm gonna butcher this card name so bad. Konohana Sakuya. She has to be special summoned from your hand by special summoning a spirit monster. Uh, Once per turn during the end phase, you can banish her from the graveyard and target one spirit monster, and another player can activate that face a monster's effects for the rest of the turn. So, I don't know, if you banish her, you can, once again, you can stop a spirit monster in your field from returning to the hand. So, nice. I like her. In fact, I actually used her in another deck before I got the idea to build this Spirit Monster deck. So I kind of owe her for even giving me the idea for this deck. Next card is the Dark Dust Spirit. When he's summoned, he can destroy all face-up monsters on the field other than himself. Very powerful. He's a 6-star monster and has 22 in attack and 18 in defense, but his special ability is pretty worth it if he can get it off. So yeah, between like Dark Dust Spirit, Shadato, Amaterasu, this deck has a lot of ways to damage your opponent if you can get them out. The next card is another boss of this deck, Yamata Dragon, 2600 attack, 7-star monster. When this card inflicts battle damage to opponent's life points, you can draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. Pretty powerful card. Kind of like an anime card of sanctity, I suppose. Yeah. Not really an anime card of sanctity, but I don't really know what I'm trying to say with that. Yeah, I don't know. Its effect you could kind of compare it to Morphing Jar in a way. Or like Bestial Butcher, I suppose. Yeah, that's a bit better comparison. Next is kind of the inverse of that effect. Hinokaru Suchi, which for a long time before Matarasu was pretty much the I guess you could call him like the big boss of the spirit monsters. He has 28 in attack, 29 in defense. This card inflicts bound damage to its life points. Your opponent must discard all cards in their hand before their next draw phase. So when they draw, they'll basically be only left with like the card they draw. So yeah, very big boy. Sadly, his equip spell doesn't exist yet. Shanato, King of a Higher Plane. Not a spirit monster. When Shanato destroys a monster in defense mode and sends it to the graveyard by battle, you can inflict damage to opponent's life points equal to the attack of that monster. Shinato had another effect in the anime where um, the controller would gain that amount of life points like back. But yeah, sadly that really didn't translate over to this card. An effect like that is why I put Cestus of Dogla in the deck. Works a bit different, I suppose, but yeah, I don't know. If I can get that combo off, it'll be pretty cool someday, I guess. um, Next is just another handy life point recovery card. Dancing Fairy. I put this in there because I don't know, I like it, and also Noah used it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Nightmare Troubadour, so that's good enough for me. Next is Book of Moon. Has multiple uses in this deck, I suppose. Flip spirits, flip opponent's monsters, flip Shinato face down. Next is Fushin no Tori. When he attacks directly, um, you can get that amount back of damage back as the life points. So, I don't know. Pretty nice card. Next card is Yaksha, 1900 deck. When he's summoned, you can basically return a spell trap card in your opponent's field to their hand, which is pretty nice. Otohime, when she's summoned, she can change the battle position of any monster on, on your opponent's side of the field. She can come in really handy, but yeah, with her stats, she's not the most useful. So I don't know. Flip her, I guess. Change like a strong monster into a defense mode and uh, slam it with like I don't know, one of your stronger monsters like Matarasu, Shinato, Hinakaru Suchi. Take the advantage, I guess. Inaba White Rabbit. Only thing I can do really is attack your opponent directly. Not the worst card. And last but not least, Miraviata. You can equip to a spirit monster, and Miraviata will prevent its effect from returning it to the hand at the end of the turn. So, yeah. Overall, yeah. I've tested this deck once against my brother's Ancient Gear deck. Uh, kind of failed miserably, if I'm being honest. I don't know. It was fun, I guess. Um, I might just like work with this deck to see if there are like any ways I can think of like uh if I can think of any like cool strategies with it to make winning a bit easier. So yeah, this deck definitely has a lot of weaknesses as far as like keeping a good presence on the board and really like I'm starting to see like the only reason like Noah like did as well against Yugi with the Spirit Monsters is because he already had like 7,400 points with Kaiba. So if he would have started with that like 3,000 point advantage over Yugi to Yugi's like 400 points, I don't know. The duel probably would have lasted a lot shorter, I suppose. And yeah, Noah probably wouldn't have like done as well if he wouldn't have had those extra like 3,000 points. Yeah, I like this deck though. It's pretty fun. So let me know what you think of it. I honestly, I despise Noah as a character. I hate his guts for like doing what he did to like Serenity, Mokuba, Joey, but Taya. um, yeah, let me know what you think of this deck though. And with that said, I'll catch you later. Bye.